Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Lost in Space, Season 1, Episode 5. It's called Transmission. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. This one just reiterated to me how much I hate Smith. With like every time she talks to someone, and she's trying to manipulate Will into like, oh, they should call you robot. I'm like, don't listen to the bitch. Just, come on, Will.
Yeah.
Don't listen to, don't fall for it. God damn it. But yeah, so this episode was everyone trying to like communicate with the main ship without audio. You know, trying to basically just give them a lighthouse to say, hey, we're down here. This is where we are. Come get us. So we see that all the other Jupiter crews have all kind of like intermingled now. They're all kind of near Jupiter 2.
One big community.
Yeah, and they're building this big beam thing that's going to shoot some light into the sky at night. But they have to time it, of course, to when the ship will be in the right part of orbit, so they'll see it.
Yeah.
So they're doing all that, and a lot of it's just people kind of working on that throughout the episode. And now let's just have some character beats throughout between various people. Of course, the main thing that's separate from all that is that Maureen is suspicious about something to do with the sunrise, and she kind of like, okay, I'm going to go off and check something, and she leaves kind of for the bulk of the episode, and she has there's some flashbacks in this one that are all about her trying to look after Will, when Will was having some trouble when he was born for a little bit, and then him failing his test, and probably the most interesting scene was the one where she actually tells the kids, hey, what do you think of this idea about leaving Earth and going to Alpha Centauri? Let's go do that. I mean, it never actually says exactly what she sees, although I'm going to make the assumption here that when she does, you know, go up in the balloon and, you know, up to the top of the atmosphere and she sees the sun, I'm going to assume that whatever she sees is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they'll be calling it or whatever, what the scientific name for it will be, but I'm fairly certain this is going to be a case of we have to get off this planet in 2 weeks or dead.
Yeah.
So
I will say her side of things that gave me the biggest laugh of the episode is when she says to John, it's like, hey, the sun's rising earlier each day. He's like, yeah, it does that on Earth too. It's called spring. I'm like, yeah, it bloody is. You should probably lead with why this is a thing to be worried about.
Which, to be fair, she has a reason to why it's a concern, because it's happening too fast.
But the way she says it at first, I'm like, yeah, I'm with you there, mate. Yeah, that was not helpful at all.
She's assuming that he's an idiot when it comes to science and he won't get it.
He won't get spring.
He won't get spring. I think that's fair.
Maybe.
He's tactical, alright? He's a tactical man. He doesn't think about this.
Sure.
But yeah, my only complaint, honestly, with her side of stuff, because I thought they were actually going up in the balloon and looking at, I thought, oh, this is all kind of pretty and kind of nice.
Yeah.
My only real complaint was I felt like they added in a scene of like, you know, tension with the balloon flying off and her being dragged across the ground, and then she had to, like, you know, spike her in before she goes off the cliff. It just kind of felt like, oh, this plot needs to be more exciting for a scene. This had a scene of danger.
It did, didn't it?
It just kind of felt inserted. So I'll criticize that a touch. I did like how all the grass and the field, it was all purple, and I thought that was a neat trick. Because I mean, I know just looking at that is just a colouring effect. They've just changed the colour in post.
It looks good, doesn't it?
But it does look good because it's not a visual effect per se. It's literally, because keep in mind, I mean, chroma keying's a thing, but it's funny to me that this is literally just, grass is naturally green, which we often use to change things in the background. So it's just kind of funny to me that let's just change the greens to purple, and there we go.
Yeah, I think the difficulty is you don't want it all to be just one shade of purple. You got to make it be natural, which is where the challenge comes in to make this look good.
Yeah, I don't even think it's that hard though. If I'm just thinking about changing some sliders on Photoshop, like you keep the various shades, you're just changing the hue essentially. Of one colour. Now, admittedly, don't get me wrong, I'm sure to make it look as completely fine as this, it has to, you know, have a few tinkering to really make it work, but it's a simple effect, it looks good, because it looks unnatural.
Just slap a filter on it, that'll do.
But it looks unnatural, so it looks realistic because it is literally just changing the colour of the grass. Yeah. So, you know, I can't fault it.
Hey, yeah, sometimes the easiest tricks work the best.
So that's her whole thing, and we get the flashbacks with Will failing his test, and you know that all feed into his plot, of course, and his arc. And even in this episode, he actually gets quite brave towards the end, in a way. But so that was basically that stuff. But the rest of the stuff is all back at the camp. It's all back with them dealing with each other. And of course, the very interesting thing that happens, I think, is that Dawn runs into Smith and calls her out on her bullshit. And this is where I'm going back to me hating her guts, because like she's trying to slime her. I was like, oh, I took it out, but then I thought you'd be mad at me, so I put it back. But I put it back in the wrong bag. And I'm like, there was a case for the flare gun on the side of the bag, and he's trying to be nice about it. You can see, like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here, but he's like,
he knows.
Trust. But then, of course, the interesting part here is that he ends up getting elbowed in the face by Judy, because he's snooping around looking for his booze, and Judy's happens to be in the cargo hold, and she elbows him in the face. And we get a scene where she's, refitting his nose. You know, he's all like, "Oh, don't give me a minute, don't, give me a warning here." And it's an amusing enough scene. But the interesting part that comes out of it is that he brings up Smith and it brings up his story. He doesn't get into the whole flare gun business, but he mentions this. I was with her, and she's like, "But she told us she was alone."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yes, put the pieces together, this is a good idea. And she goes and confronts her. Judy goes and confronts Smith, and again, she weasels her way out, and, gives this bullshit about it, and it's just like, oh, don't listen to her, Judy, be suspicious, put it together, pay attention.
She is a world-class bullshitter, though, isn't she?
Oh, she really is. And all throughout, because at one point she's talking to... Because it really upset me at one point, because she's talking to John, and she's like, "Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this. I wasn't sure if I should tell you, but the kid snuck off with the robot." And I'm like, "You shit stirring!" Like she's just stirring. She's just manipulating things. And the funny thing is I'm going through. I'm like, what is she trying to achieve? Like, what's the end goal of this particular manipulation? Like, I'm trying to put it together.
Yeah.
Like, does she want the robot to go nuts on the camp so that she has a chance to, I don't know, not escape, because she wants to get back up?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, because the way to get back up is. Let everyone else do their job and just take her with them.
Does she want to gain control of the robot herself? Is this all about showing, oh, Will's going to abandon you, robot, so you can work for me? Which, admittedly, I don't think works particularly well in this episode, because one of the monster things we saw last episode, like, she attracts it to camp. She turns off the fence, and so when the light's on, the monster comes running in. There's two of them, and it ends up running around. There's some action scenes. There's stuff with Penny particularly. It's very Jurassic Park, where she's hiding in the tent and she's trying to be quiet. It's all very good, and they're all kind of running around, and the whole time Smith's like, "Hey, Will, you should probably call that robot of yours. If you can reach out to it and call it, now's maybe a good time." And the robot does show up, and it's kind of a moment because John's kind of screwed. John's about to get eaten, and the robot jumps in and smacks it across. But then there's another one, and the two monsters start to attack him, and he doesn't fight back.
No, it's taking him out.
And Will's basically, he's not fighting back because I told him not to hurt anything. So Will is like, hey, you have to be... And obviously, I think the long-term goal here is he's going to have to train him to... Oh, you don't hurt people who are innocent, you don't hurt people who are harmless, but you can defend yourself and so on. But right now, he's like, no, you just have to be who you were, and fight back. And he goes all red, the forearms come out, and he blasts the two monsters to shit. And he's like, he's walking towards the people who are all terrified at this point. Everyone's seen him.
Because they've all seen him before, yeah.
And then, Will steps out in front, and, obviously John's like, "Oh, no, Will, what are you doing?" And he's like, he sort of touches his, puts his hand on him, and he's like, "Hey, it's okay, it's me. And the robot, transforms again and goes back to, being the friendly version. And it's interesting because I think, from John's perspective, he sees right here, no, he's got control of the robot. Like, he actually can make sure
absolutely.
It's okay.
And I imagine it'll gain some trust with the rest of the colony down here as well, because they see it, they saw it protect them. It took out the monsters, and then...
I imagine it's going to be a diplomatic dispute, essentially, for the next episode, where I think there's going to be a lot of them who are like, no, kill this thing, get rid of it, whatever.
Yeah, but there'll be just enough that are like, hey, we saw him stop it. It's like, it helped. This could be useful on this planet that's trying to kill us. No,
it makes a lot of sense, because obviously John finds out about the whole, robot killing everything. Because there's a few times where he almost tells his dad, and it doesn't quite happen, because his dad's having a heart-to-heart with him. But yeah, that was the main gist of the episode, and obviously, because the robot's gone for the majority of it, and then he shows up to save the day at the end. And we see at the end of the episode, he's on the ship, he's actually watching guard.
Yes,
on
exactly.
Will's door again, so... That's the whole thing. Of course, there's some other stuff through it. Obviously, we mentioned a lot of the Judy stuff, with her dealing with Dawn and all the rest of it. And obviously, I hope that eventually, because I think one of the most satisfying things in this show is when everyone actually finally realizes that Smith's full of shit, and she doesn't get all this,
Yeah.
That's just benefit of the doubt. Just no.
Screw you. You're going out the airlock.
Get the robot to blast her in the face, and then make it have the oath of no killing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Blast her in the face first. Which, I mean, I don't know if she's going to be around for a possible second season, but part of me is wondering, like, yeah, it would probably be very satisfying for her to get killed in the finale,
Well, wouldn't it?
in some gruesome, grisly manner.
Even if she does survive season 2, they're definitely going to uncover a shit stir in this season, so it'll be a very different relationship next year with the way that she's not going to be just sneaking around within them.
She'll be locked in a cell probably next year.
Yeah.
And she'll probably try to escape. There'll be a whole thing, which might make her more dangerous because she'll actually just want to revenge on everyone.
She has no incentive to try and play nice.
Yeah. And of course, Penny has a couple of things. We know she likes the boy from the other thing. She basically tries to go flirt with him, and it doesn't go particularly well because he's like, "You're blackmailing me," and she's like, "Well,
yeah,
sure." Because I noticed actually towards the end of the episode when she comes back out for the light going on, I was like, "Wait, is she wearing makeup now?" Because before she was, and I'm like, she's put on a bit of gloss, just whatever. Like, this all feels very intentional. And I thought, okay, this could be a nice, like, her being kind of mean and try to overcome that to actually gain his affection could be entertaining.
It could.
Because she basically makes fun of him, and he's like, yeah, no way to come back, and he's like, give me a second, and he's like, oh, it's very antagonistic. It's very showing you like someone through being a dick to them. It's very, very high school and adolescent. Is that where? Admittedly, though, I usually associate that with males more than I do females.
No, I'm with you.
Be making fun of someone because you actually like them, and it's how you're acting out. So it's actually kind of interesting to see it the other way around. But so that's going on. So we got all these things in motion. That was basically the episode. It was setting up all this stuff, and it was the big robot fight at the end with the monster.
It's quite a straightforward episode, really, because it is mostly just them all talking and okay, everyone catching up to the same page.
Kind of, yeah. I think what makes it work though, because as much as I said, the balloon bit with Maureen getting dragged out almost over the cliff, that felt tacked on. But the funny thing is I think that the payoff to everything else, where it was the monster attack and then the robot comes in and saves the day, I think all the suspense from that was actually enough for the episode. I think that was the money scene. That was the big payoff. Here's your suspense. Penny specifically, ducking and diving, running, hiding in the tent, and then John almost squaring off against it with a knife. And he knows that's hopeless. He knows that he can't win this. This
do what you gotta do. You gotta jump in front of it and try and save everyone. Because he's the soldier. That's kind of the point of him on this mission, right? Is okay. He gets in front and protects people.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see how quickly Maureen tells someone about her concerns about the son.
Yeah.
And I'll be curious to see
what exactly it is.
What it is, and what the debate of the robot's going to be next episode, and who sticks up for him, who maybe sides the other way. Where does Dawn lie in all this? Where these other characters that we're kind of getting to know a little bit.
Who does Smith try and manipulate, and which side does she go down on?
Do you know what's going to be satisfying with her? I mean, above possibly death and just everyone knowing, I think it's specifically when Will realises he can't trust her.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's a kid, he's very trusting, he's very like, oh, this is an adult, I'm supposed to listen to adults, blah, 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 blah. I think the moment he says, no, piss off, or something to that effect, is going to be very satisfying.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Also, just a minor note here. We mentioned that episode 3 had an opening title sequence. 4 and 5 did not.
Yeah, it was really weird. It almost feels like it's a movie in the sense of, so you have your opening bit, and then you have your title.
That was all the prologue. That was, yeah. I mean, I'd argue that was the first entire act, so the title should be before episode 3, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm feeling now. It's like the prologue, title card, here's the movie.
Yeah, because all the other episodes have only had a title card. It's literally just been Lost in Space, and that's it. Whereas episode 3 had the full on, here's all the names, the music's playing, and then it ends with Lost in Space. You know, it's a big, bombastic thing. I kind of liked it though when it did play, so I wouldn't be opposed to it coming back again. It's just really weird now how random it feels that it was in one episode.
Yeah, are we going to get it like another time? Are we going to get it in episode 6?
We might. Maybe 6 and then the finale. Just 3 times maybe. Throughout. Every third.
Seems really weird though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd love to hear from the showrunner what the decision behind this was.
Yeah, if we don't hear it again, I'm going with my theory of it's like the movie, because that's the best I've got so far. But if we hear it again now, then that's out the window.
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird. No. But hey, so that's episode 5. So we're halfway through the season, actually.
We are, yeah.
And obviously this season seems to very much be about how do we get off this planet, and do we get off this planet. I'm suspecting that we do, because I think for season 2 you want to go somewhere else, even if we're still lost, even if we're still hopeless. But honestly, I'm kind of into all the survival stuff and try to like figure things out. It's why I think something like Lost worked for me even before it got super weird. I mean, I liked how weird it got. I liked when it dove head first into science fiction. But even at first when it was just, no, we're on an island, how do we try and help our situation? How do we try and get off this place? How do we come together and like solve the problems? That stuff in itself is actually really solid drama. So
yeah, that makes sense. And then obviously next season, if you just want to do this sort of thing again, you go, okay, well we're surviving this place now and have different things that be the problems.
If I was to make a guess, I'd say season 2 might be more actually in space on the ship, like actually traveling.
Yeah, maybe
a little bit. Maybe not the whole season, because obviously, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're treating it super realistically, but I don't think they're being so blasé with their space travel that, oh, we can encounter a different planet every couple of episodes. I don't think they're, because that'd be moving really fast in space terms.
Yeah, I don't know what the technology is. Obviously, it's enough to get Alpha Centauri within lifespans.
Yeah.
Know? So it's got to be pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and especially since like Don's been back and forth. They mentioned that last episode that this is like, this is his first trip.
You could make.
Yeah, he's been going back and forth. Because that was one of the things we didn't mention about last episode, is when they ask him what it's like, he's like, it's not this paradise. Like, everyone thinks it's going to be different and erase all their problems, but they're just going to bring their problems with them. It's like, it's just a place. It doesn't magically fix everything. So it sounds like he's a
place that happens to have clean air.
Yeah, which is still worth going for that, but everyone's got this ideological view of it that's, different. So, which is actually worth mentioning in the scene where she's like telling the kids and they're weighing up the options of like going or not going. Just some tidbits. They're saying, the governments have mostly stabilised. The fighting that happens because of this Earth disaster seems to have been subsiding. So things are maybe getting to a peaceful state, perhaps, before they were left. But obviously, the planet, in terms of, but the Earth is still kind of screwed.
They're all wearing gas masks, so that's not great. They mention here, you'll never see a blue sky again.
Yeah, but not necessarily that we'll be dead if we stay here. Like, we can still live here. It's just it's living on Earth will almost becoming what it's like living on another planet. Like, do you know when you see like a movie of a colony on Mars where they can never go outside and breathe?
Yeah,
it almost feels like that it's kind of like that. Like, you can still live on Earth, but it's just going to be like a pit of darkness.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty shit. But you'll be alive, but it's not going to be great.
Everything's just going to be big, indoor complexes because we can't really hang out outside anymore.
Yeah,
so on. So. But they make the choice. So hey, good stuff still, I think. That was episode 5, so let us know what you thought of that one in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv. You can do that over there. There's a link in the description, but otherwise that's us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV. Have you got any vanilla?